Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Phoning It In. I'm Michael Carvelli, joined by Nick Arthur and John Terry. We are back for another week. And this, how many episodes have we done on like YouTube and via Zoom now? 3, 4?
This is
whatever?
4.
No,
this
this
is
is 4.
This is JJ Reddick. Yeah.
Okay.
We've done AI.
And this will be the third location that John has been in for one of these.
Third time zone.
A lot of different
Right,
backdrops.
'cause 2 in Chicago, 1 in Austria, 1 now in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Fort Lauderdale.
Fort
How's it going?
Lauderdale. So it's good, man. It's hot. I almost didn't bring shorts down here because I'm an idiot. I was just like packing pants.
Florida. Come on.
Well, I had all my khaki shorts. Like they came in a different bag and they were in a different room. So I kind of forgot I had them. And then I went in to get a suitcase. They were in the room with the suitcases. And I was like, oh shit, my khaki shorts. I'm not wearing fucking pants. I'll wear pants for the game. That's it. Put on the suit, but khaki shorts, baby. I mean, it's like 75. The sun is hot. It's humid. Wearing the mask, man. I mean, in like the humidity is like it. We've been wearing. We have to wear like these disposable, like three ply surgical grade, like they're one-time use masks or whatever. But they only last 2 to 3 hours because they have that moisture wicking stuff. But as soon as the moisture like material goes, like they just start itching your nose and you got to throw them out. So it's good to know since I need to order some more for our crew here, and we are, if we end up in warm places, so gonna go through more. But yeah, it's great though. It's nice to be back in Florida. I just love palm trees. They make me so happy. I'm bummed I can't actually do anything, but yeah, it's just good to be back in the sun, man. Like
Something about that
in Chicago.
Something about that sound, just of the wind whistling through a palm tree. Just something about it. I want to point out, if I were, when I think of John Terry in my head, I think of like, I don't know, the cartoon version of John Terry. If I was like, building him and choosing an outfit, you will have on khaki shorts. There will be a Braves hat on your head. There will be khaki shorts. There will be some sort of like a t-shirt like you have on now, where it's just kind of like a dry fit tee with the khaki shorts. There are going to be some dad.
I was going to say a polo, like a polo shirt.
Oh, that's a little DA focused, but that's where our foundational memories developed.
Here's
running shoes, dad running shoes, and low ankle cut socks. That is your outfit.
So we got the ankle cut socks. Little tour here. Are these dad running shoes?
Those will do. Those
okay.
Will do.
I mean,
they're not your everyday like.
They're casual tennis shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's exactly. I think the khaki shorts with the like casual tee like this is like kind of back in style more so than the polo. Like it's almost just as formal. Yeah, I know. I feel it's like, people nowadays, like when you wear like a suit, like business casual, I feel like people used to wear ties a lot more. And now it's like the cool thing to do is you don't wear a tie, you go the open collar and you walk around like a douchebag. So I just think it's.
Yeah, I didn't mean that as a slight in any way to you.
No, I didn't take it that way.
I just love that you're talking about how many khaki shorts you packed when it's,
Yeah.
I love that Disney movie growing up. My mom's on a date with a vampire, and they show the one kid's closet, and he has like 7 of the same shirts, just like in a different color, and that's his entire wardrobe. It's just like 12 pair of khaki shorts.
I actually only have 2 pairs of khaki shorts because I have 2 Adidas ones that I can't wear since we're swoosh, baby, just
Nike.
do it.
Yeah, that's why That's why I dressed accordingly.
I've got Spalding.
So the week-long trip kind of stretches that to a limit, but I won't on the travel days, like I wear my sweats. So pumped though. It's good to be back. I'm excited to it's just I know things aren't normal, and let's talk about this. So
yeah, because I've got some questions about some stuff for you.
I am obviously, like, we've been taking this pandemic like really fucking seriously. Shout out Donna. I hope you like that cuss word.
She was very excited to hear whatever curse words you had for this week.
Yeah. I realized that I didn't say one yet.
Nick brings up a great point. We had Nick, you had ordered pizza before we get into John's travel.
I'm starving. Yeah.
You have a story about pizza, and you would like to eat pizza while we're doing this.
Yeah, we prolonged this category
I
so I
forgot
could
about
show
that.
the visual aid before eating the slice of pizza. So the story is yesterday I ordered a pizza because it's Saturday and we are in a pandemic and I order a lot of food.
Right.
And I went downstairs to get my food from the delivery driver. And when I walked out there, I noticed right away that the person had on a motorcycle helmet and motorcycle jacket. And I didn't really think too much of it. I took the pizza, started walking upstairs. I got up the stairs, and now I'm carrying this like pizza like this. And I'm like, wait a second. The person was on a motorcycle. How did they transport the pizza?
What size pizza was this?
It was a large. It's
Okay.
a small kitchen table. And you can't put the pizza flat on the bike. You'd have to you'd have to put it maybe behind the seat or something. So I kind of I'm curious how they did that. So I got inside and I opened the pizza and pretty much all my slices looked like this. So
I have questions.
Well, actually,
how is that okay?
That's one question.
Well, I started eating it and it was incredible. And if I complain to the DoorDash app in this scenario, the pizza place loses the money,
Sure.
which is and they did nothing wrong. The
Right.
pizza is delicious. And DoorDash has a major flaw where you tip the driver when you submit the order.
Yeah.
So you don't, and I actually think they're in a lawsuit right now. They're settling for like a couple $100 million or something for not only like that issue, but like basically stealing tips from the delivery drivers, which are supposed to be or are marketed as being 100% for the driver.
Yeah.
But anyway, you have to give the tip before they deliver. And so, I mean, you got to pick a number, and then, well, first of all, what incentive is there now for the delivery driver to do anything differently?
Clearly not much.
And also, like, what incentive is there for me as a consumer to reward a good delivery with a higher tip? Like maybe I tipped the guy $5 and they did a really, really, really good job on this big order. And I now want to maybe give them a couple more dollars.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
How the fuck is that okay? Your pizza is like,
yeah, it's,
but like, what was going through the delivery driver's mind? Like, I'm going to put this pizza like sideways.
well, the problem is when you unfold it, so it's hard to see. But
yeah, there's no cheese. The cheese
there's
is
no
stuck
cheese
to
on
the top.
yeah, exactly. There's no cheese on the bottom down. So I kind of just eat it like a calzone.
Yeah.
Like this.
Wait, I'm confused. If you call and complain about DoorDash's delivery driver, why does the pizza place
They don't
not
let you
get-
do that. So all these apps just, intentionally just have a very little help or report button. And when you click it, they just give you some preset options. And your options are like, there was something wrong with my delivery. Okay. Then your other options are like, they brought me the wrong food. The food didn't taste good, whatever it is. And there's not even an option for, the food was destroyed in delivery. There's not even an option for that. But if you pick any of those things, DoorDash will pretty much tell you without pressing or anything. They'll be like, okay, well, we're willing to refund you X. So their algorithm will be either the full amount for the order if you said something like, I was given the wrong order, or if it wasn't very good, they'll say, okay, we'll give you $5. But all of that, in my understanding, doesn't come away from the delivery driver at all. It comes out of the,
what you gave for the order.
what I gave the pizza company.
There was an article months ago during the pandemic talking about how like ordering from DoorDash and stuff, it kind of screws the restaurant sometimes.
Yeah.
So I've tried to when places when the prices are the same or sometimes it's cheaper like on the actual restaurant's website than it is on DoorDash to like order through there because like they probably John's Pizza Palace down there on Hollywood Boulevard probably wouldn't have sent a motorcycle driver with your fucking large cheese pizza. That is one of the most insane things I've ever like. You were telling that story, Nick, before we started, and I was like, okay, he's not going where this is obviously going. Like that would never happen.
It happened to me before too. It happened at a
twice.
Well, with the pizza, yeah. It was a Super Bowl party, 2018 or something. We ordered like 5 pizzas, us as a whole group, and they came in like the cheese was just like sitting in the middle of the pizza, and all of like the slices outside like had no cheese. And I assume it was a similar thing. It was during delivery. Obviously, the The pizza company's not going to send a pizza out like that.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable, man. That is unbelievable. And I sincerely apologize. We forgot about that, and you had to wait so long to eat your pizza.
Guys, this pizza is incredible, though. Like,
Where'd you get it from? Where'd you get it from?
Oh,
Papa John's, Domino's. What are we talking here?
Let me
Pizza
write in the
Hut?
chat here. You guys tell me how you would pronounce this.
Pizzoki.
Okay.
Pizzaoki, like pizza.
Oh.
Pizza or pizzaoki or something like that.
Oh,
So
pizzaoki.
It's Pizzaoki for the people who are listening or watching this and can't see our chat.
Right.
Pazzaoki. I would say like pizzaoki or pizzaoki
Pizzaoki.
Or you say it really fast and it's like pizzoki.
or that.
Right. But not pizzaki or pizzaki.
No.
No. Is that what it is?
I don't know what it is.
Oh.
Maybe I can find on YouTube what it is.
Well, or maybe when you call them to complain,
There you go.
and just here's what you should do, Nick. You should call them. This is what you should do.
What can they do though? They can't do anything.
Yo,
I think the statute of limitations for delivery
yeah.
complaints says
You can
passed.
you can say, hey, I ordered a pizza. The pizza was fucking incredible.
He didn't order it from them though.
Just chill. Just hear me out. Your pizza was incredible. I got it through DoorDash. I just wanted to tell you that I really enjoyed your pizza.
Thank you.
And then say, I wanted to let you know it's not a big deal, and I will order it from you again, but the DoorDash driver, it fucked up the pizza. He ruined the pizza.
Oh,
I was cool with it.
I'm really sorry to hear that, but you're going to need to reach out to DoorDash.
No. I'm
Thank
not
you.
calling.
That's what they're going to say.
Hold on.
That's all they're gonna say.
Hold on.
Okay.
You say, I'm not calling to complain. I'm calling to tell you your pizza's really good. I just wanted to give you a heads up. I just wanted to give you a heads up so other customers don't experience the same thing. Also, by the way, how do you pronounce the name of your store? They'll tell you.
Thank you for the call. Really appreciate your kind words. We do recommend everyone deliver orders directly through us because.
And yes, I know I made that mistake, but I just wanted to let you know.
Oh, well, as I said when I answered the phone, hey, this is Joe with Pizzaki. So obviously you know how to pronounce it because I already said so when I answered the phone.
Yeah, they don't. The places like that don't just answer, be like, "Hey, what's up?
Hello."
Hello."
Well, okay, fine. But all I'm saying is just call them and tell them their pizza was good. Well, they would love that, I'm sure.
Oh, hang on. I'm getting it. This guy called it pizzaoki.
Pizzaoki. Okay.
Pizzaoki.
New York style. Dude, I want to call these people. Maybe I'll call these people after the podcast and tell them that for you.
Hey,
I'll let you know how it goes.
so I am from Chicago, but I'm actually right now in Fort Lauderdale. I'm calling for my friend in LA who had your pizza and said it was really good. I have not personally had it. I can't say for sure if it's good, but he says it's good. But also his delivery driver messed it up, but he ordered it through DoorDash and not you guys. How do you pronounce your name again?
Whatever. That's fine.
You should do that.
Look, I was actually trying to find the phone number because I was just gonna call him while we were doing this, and then
Cool.
I realized that there are probably like some rules against like recording people.
Depends on what state you're in.
My point is, guys, like there's you should just tell them their pizza was good. You know, it's a hard time for some restaurants these days. Anyways, Pizzaoki, it did look good, and the website makes it look good too.
John,
You thought this looked good?
It looks like it looks like a really solid piece of thin sliced New York pizza if it didn't come on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
And the fact that
crotch rocket, we don't know what, but yeah, up some sort of a bike.
Yeah, I mean, at least you didn't like sit on it.
Oh, it makes
Maybe.
so much sense that it's Pizzaoki because it's Steve Aoki's pizza place.
Really?
Yeah. The like music guy.
The entertainer.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's cool.
See how much
I looked at
we've
their
learned
website.
about Pizzaoki so far tonight. They should be paying us. We've talked about them for 10 minutes now.
Yeah.
Pizzaoki.
And just imagine when you can get like some pizza the way they intended it. I mean,
Right. Yeah.
John, have you been able to find any good pizza in Fort Lauderdale?
Oh yeah, back to Fort Lauderdale. No.
Seamless transition.
Yeah, seamless transition. I can't remember where we were at other than like I'm just excited. It's nice and warm outside. I'm excited. It has been weird though. So a lot different here than in like Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of mask wearing. I mean, where I am and like my environment, like we have very strict mask wearing. But like in the airport,
open.
Oh yeah, man. Broward County seems to have like some pretty strict protocols as it pertains to like restaurants and hotels.
Okay.
But man, in the airport. So first off, I walk into the airport on Friday morning, packed. Chicago airport just packed.
Wow.
And I was like, I think I texted you, Michael, and I was like, I don't like this at all. Flight packed. Didn't like it. The person next to me actually like took it at the end of the flight. She was like, I'm so sorry. I have got to take a sip of water. Like I'm dying of thirst. So she apologized for taking off her mask to drink water, which I really appreciated.
Yeah.
So, it's just like, and then, you land in Florida, the rental car line was like, I kid you not, 150 people in an enclosed space, like just not.
And this is the Friday after Thanksgiving weekend. So
I think
everyone's already traveled for Thanksgiving. And this is now the Friday after, and it's still crazy busy?
I think it's like tons of people were coming to Florida for the weekend because it was like Friday around like 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon when we landed. And I think people like now like taking a long weekend, going to the Fort Lauderdale or Miami for the weekend. So anyways, it just was uncomfortable and I didn't like it. So I just stay the hell away from people. Like I just literally
probably the McAllisters. You're probably on the flight with the McAllisters, Chicago to Florida for the weekend.
But it's just interesting how like all these places are different. Like here, in LA, there's a new like lockdown. Granted, it's not much different, but it sounds like some places like are having to close. Mm-hmm. And then here, it's just like nothing's different. Same thing. Like my sister went back to Atlanta from Chicago and she's like, yep, it's just, people acting like it's normal. It's just weird, man.
It's weird. The weird thing about here for sure.
I will say though, about like traveling in an airplane is like, I don't know if you guys have read this stuff, but there's been a lot of like interesting studies about how the act of being in an airplane is actually fairly safe because the air is circulated so often through these filters. The most dangerous part is like if you have to do a ride share to and from the airport, mm-hmm. or even just like in the airport. When you're in the airport, it's fairly easy to mitigate your risk. One, like you can fly at off hours, so there are not a lot of people. I think the most dangerous part is probably when you're going through security because there's like confined spaces. I have pre-check, so I just like flew right through. That's like a little sketch. Again, like they have markers on the ground, or they did in Chicago. And then once you're through security though, like I just like literally go stand in a corner. Like I just get away from everyone. And like there are people that are still like eating and stuff in the airport, which like just eat before you go. Like there are a lot of things like you can do to mitigate that risk. So like out of traveling now to Austria and now Fort Lauderdale, I've never really felt uncomfortable or unsafe, like truly like I was going to get COVID on an airplane, mm-hmm. Or in the airport. I think the part where I felt the most unsafe would be when I'm in a car. Yeah. Just because you're in like in Florida, we rolled down the windows and I knew all the people I was with, it was fine. But like if I had to get on like a rental car bus to go rent the car, no thanks, not doing that. So I don't know. It's interesting. It's interesting how that works. And you really haven't heard about a ton of cases coming from air travel, but it's just when you get to a location and no one's taking it seriously, it just really sucks.
I don't think they're able to trace it to where it came from, because if somebody got on a plane, think about all the other places they've probably gone.
Right. That's fair. So I think I would say that's true in the United States. I would say though, like in Europe, where in like the UK, like there are other countries that are doing a better job of like contact tracing, and they haven't. If there had been a whole flight infected or something like that would have made the news like world, mm-hmm. like internationally. So, and you haven't heard about that. So I agree with you that in the United States, there's no way to know, but I do think other countries, like I think it would have popped up with the number of flights every day and like international flights particularly where there are like when I arrived in Austria, they like had a record of me coming in, not having a COVID test, all this stuff. Like I do think they would be able to track it.
Yeah, it's frustrating to me, not just with flying, because correct me if I'm wrong, John. They no longer are blocking out the middle seat on flights. They're filling them on pretty much every airline, I think, except Delta. Is that correct?
I believe Delta is still filling. Southwest was only blocking middle seats until December 1st, maybe.
Yep.
So
you've got pretty much
Delta is through March, though, I believe.
Okay. So
and
they're
then
still
Alaska Airlines is blocking through January the 6th.
But you have other airlines, Southwest, others that have obviously lifted their restrictions on blocking out a middle seat.
American, United, yeah.
I mean, you have shopping malls open now that weren't open in March. You have fans in the stands in college football games now that you didn't have fans in a lot of
basketball
sporting
games
in April.
I saw,
even basketball games.
Texas had fans today.
So it's absolutely wild to me that you would have those restrictions in place when we were having, 500 cases a day and 10 deaths a day. And then you don't have those restrictions in place when you're having 200,000 cases a day and 3,000 deaths per day. Blows my mind. And don't pull this shit of, we thought the virus was going to be so bad and it ended up not being bad. No, every health professional has said from the very beginning that the mortality rate was going to be somewhere between 1% and 2%, maybe jump up to 3, maybe down to 0.5. Your everyday annual flu is like 0.2%. So at the very best, this thing is 5 times more deadly than your normal flu. And what is the mortality rate? I mean, I think right now they're saying around 1.1, 1.2. It's literally right between the window that they said it was going to be at. So it turned out being exactly what we expected. And for some reason, we just, sorry for the little rant here, but
it's true.
It's more just shocking than anything else that John is in a busier airport now than one in April. He's on a busier plane now than April.
I will say this though, like when I flew back in March, like right before this thing happened, I was flying from New York to Seattle. I think that might have been actually unsafe. The filters were the same, but people weren't wearing a mask and people weren't like washing their hands a lot. And like, I agree with everything you say. I do think though, in these like airports, airlines, even stadiums, like, look, I work in stadiums, like, and I've seen the work that people have done in terms of like cleanliness and that sort of thing. There's much more focus on like, people wash their hands. There's hand sanitizer every 15 feet. Like everyone's, most stadiums and I will say at the airport when I was leaving Chicago, everyone had on a mask. So I do think it's different because there are more public health like initiatives going on. But yeah, man,
you're absolutely right. We're wearing masks more than we were before. There are more rules and regulations in place. Absolutely. As from a health community, we're much more aware and informed with this virus and the proper ways to treat it. So we're probably saving lives now that we wouldn't have saved in March and April. Totally get it. But you also have a situation where this virus is so rampantly widespread right now. And you just said that people are just sitting at the food court in the airport, taking their mask off. I don't care that Bill has his mask on in the Uber and when he walks into the airport through security and luggage and everything else and on the plane, but he took it off at the food court when he was around everyone else with their mask off eating, and everything else goes out the window. It's like watching the football coach who has the mask on and then pulls the mask down to talk to the ref. Like, this is literally the one time you should be pulling the mask up when you're spitting water vapor at the referee in front of you, and he's spitting it right back. And he refereed the game last night in South Dakota and the game the night before in Illinois. Like, I don't get it. I don't have common sense. You're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. But Grandma and Grandpa aren't. And the more we pull down our masks to talk to the ref, the more this thing gets closer to Grandma and Grandpa.
Okay? Yep. Boy.
Can I say one more thing about this?
Go for it.
It's pretty negative.
Great. Great.
The really crazy thing the other day, and I think over the last 4 years, we've become very immune to like news stories or like just what's the word, like very
No.
numb. Thank you, numb. When the daily death toll was above that of Pearl Harbor and 9/11.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't even the main story in newspapers.
Yeah, but what was the survival rate of Pearl Harbor? Sorry.
Still though, like like I just think I mean, none of us were alive Pearl Harbor, but think about 9/11. Like I remember that day so vividly.
Absolutely.
And
My joke was ill-timed. Obviously that was sarcasm.
but like
No, it was good. Yeah, it was good.
but like how scared I remember being scared.
Yeah.
And they're like 2,000 people died. Like holy shit. And that was one day.
And it's one of those things where I think a lot of us take, especially when we were that age, like I knew that like because we were in what, 5th grade, I think, when that happened, Nick?
Yep.
Was probably like in
9th or 10th, yeah.
Yeah, sophomore year of high school. When you're that age, like I didn't really understand what happened at all. But taking cues from like the adults in my life who obviously were shaken up and scared by it, I was scared by it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh man, this is bad. And I think if you're a kid taking cues from adults in your life about how to handle this,
very similar. Good point.
You're not gonna stick out as like a super.
No, it depends who you are. Depends.
And
right. I mean, I'm saying like widely, I think it's,
mm-hmm.
certain places are worse, especially.
Right. Right.
Like if I'm in Clarksburg, West Virginia, and was a little kid in a different family, like I probably wouldn't think it's that serious either.
It's a hoax. Well, on a positive note, though, a vaccine is coming. And I found this little website, and it's so there are a couple different vaccines out. They're going to be more, hopefully. And I believe the state of New York is beginning to give them on December 15th or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's about healthcare workers. So it's pretty cool. Like healthcare workers are going to be able to get this thing, and then slowly it'll roll out. So there's this thing on the New York Times website, and it tells you like where you are in line to get the vaccine. And it, let's see, go back to it here. And it will tell you plug in a few different things. So you plug in how old you are, what county you live in. If you have to like choose if you're any like an essential worker, healthcare worker, anything like that. And then if you have COVID related health risks, so like
heart disease, cancer, diabetes, obesity,
whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
And then you submit that answer. So you guys have the website up. Why don't you go ahead and submit the answer here?
29 years old, Los Angeles County, California.
Man, I'm old. I wonder if I'll get it before you guys.
Probably.
I am not a healthcare worker, essential worker, first responder, or teacher, and I do not have any COVID-related health risk. I'm clicking submit now. Is that cool, John?
Yep, click submit. And so I'll tell you, while you guys are clicking submit, I am in line behind 268.7 million people in the United States. Where are you guys?
I'm ahead of you.
What the fuck?
I'm pretty far ahead of you.
What?
Too. Sorry, John.
Why?
This is your quiz. I don't know.
Yeah, why? Okay, keep going. Where are you guys?
I am in line behind 144.1 million people.
I am also behind 144.1 million people. Nick and
Hey, LA County, Harrison County, what's the difference?
Same thing,
Same
baby.
place, baby.
Okay, and then when it comes to Illinois, they think I'm behind 10.5 million others who are at higher risk.
Yeah, I'm behind 15.2 million in my county. No,
900
sorry, in my state.
997,000.
Wow.
So I did look it up. The population of West Virginia is 1.7 million.
So you're about
Obviously
halfway
way
point.
less. Yeah.
Cook County, I'm behind 4.2 million other people. Cook County is okay. Cook County is
No, I
basically
know. I'm just
like
amazed how
Chicago, and it's like all the way up to like Evanston, and it's huge.
I'm just amazed by how big a place you guys live in compared to where I live.
I'm only behind 3.9 million in LA County.
It's good.
So less than Cook.
I am behind 37,800. Harrison County.
Take a number.
Yeah, right. And then let's see here. And then at the
Nick and I
bottom,
are right next to each other in lines. I mean,
so then, but if you scroll down, guys, there's like a snake-looking line of
I'm looking
people.
at that.
And you go down to the bottom, you'll see yourself. It's like a red thing. I am the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm the 8th to last person in that line.
I'm pretty much at the midway point of that line.
Are you? What the
Yeah, it's
fuck?
about me.
I wonder if I'm 29.
Probably.
Yeah, try with 20. But why?
I'm more at risk. I'm old. Yeah, 29. There are only 144 million people.
Yeah, so if you're 29 and you don't have any of the
Save us youngsters first.
any of the
You olds.
health risk, or if you're not in any of the professions that would trigger an early vaccine, it just by default, doesn't matter where you live in the country, is giving you the same place in line from your age of being 29.
And it looks like 32.
30
and that goes
also.
up to like, yeah, so it looks like 25 to 30. Nope, 24 to I've broken the New York Times algorithm. 20. So basically it looks like everyone in their 20s.
The order outlined above is one possibility, combining proposals by the Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, alongside a fuller proposal by the National Academies of Science, Engineering, and Medicine. The final order is not yet determined and depends on successful vaccines being adequately tested for every group.
So it looks like 18 to 30 is all in that same little bucket.
Under 18 is further back in line, correct?
Under 18, let's see here. So like if I'm 14 years old, let's say,
right.
I would be 185 million. So I would still be in front of the 31-year-old John.
Oh wow.
I don't
What if you're 4 years old?
Let's see here. That's a good question.
I'm just curious if that would.
It's the same as if you're 14.
What if you're 1 year old?
Or 0?
I don't think that will give you a result.
Same.
Okay, so 0. So all the way up to being.
Like I get there's an algorithm. I didn't think this would be accurate. It's just interesting. Like it's cool the fact that we're talking about like vaccine distribution stuff. Like
I saw the article about New York getting a pretty large, I think it was like 340,000 doses, which is enough because I think this particular vaccine is 2 doses, right?
Right.
So that would be enough for 170,000 people. So yeah, that's exciting. I think other countries around the world are actually going to probably get their hands on some of these first. Given what I've read about UK and some other places, probably
UK is moving, but that's great. Like. Honestly, it's a worldwide pandemic. So the faster that the world can get this thing under control, like
absolutely
fantastic. Because it also frees up like medical supplies and other vaccine like doses for other countries who are still struggling with it. I have a question for you. Are you scared at all about getting the vaccine? Like, are you gonna wait? I've seen stuff that are like, I'm gonna wait and get the vaccine because like I'm nervous and like they haven't tested it and all this stuff. And then you have like Barack Obama come out and say, like, I'm getting this thing in my arm and I'm doing it on national TV.
So I've texted Carvelli about this already. Him and I were talking about it this week, actually. Here's the thing. Do vaccines have side effects? Absolutely, sure. But the ultimate goal of the vaccine here is the side effects of the vaccine are the goal of a vaccine, right, is for the side effects of that vaccine to be more minor than the symptoms or side effects of getting the virus, right?
Yeah.
The side effects of getting the virus right now is somewhere between 1% and 2% death rate. So, we have a 1% to 2% chance of dying.
Right.
Obviously, if I'm over the age of 80, I probably have a 20% chance of dying, or those numbers are just numbers I'm giving. Right. So first of all, that's the first thing to look at. What are the chances of dying from the vaccine? I'm going to guess that number is probably going to be way down near a 0.000000001% or whatever it is, right? But the main thing I want to focus on is the FDA, and I don't think people understand this organization and the type of things they go through. I don't talk about my work much on the pod, but I do work in the medical industry, and we do have to abide by FDA regulations. and those fuckers come on site, man. And if you didn't record at the exact moment where this one item shipped and where it was going, and I mean, these are you want to talk about the most like OCD, thorough, over the top graders on your essay that you wrote in high school. I mean, that thing is coming back bleeding by this organization. And the steps that they take to approve a vaccine, and I am not a vaccine expert, it is just crazy. I don't think people realize the amount of people that go through these tests. First they tested on 10,000 people of all different age groups, and then they tested on 20,000 people with all these pre-existing conditions, and then they tested on 50,000 people of all these different demographics. And at any point throughout that stage, if something comes back concerning, boom, done, create a new one, back to zero. I mean, I don't think people realize the shit they go through. Now, I'll be honest, election, we were dealing with somebody in charge who rivaled a dictator unlike anything we've ever seen in this country. And if there was ever a moment where politics may come into play with a vaccine, it was absolutely about a month ago. But now that is seemingly behind us, I have full trust in the FDA government organization currently to continue their normal protocol with approval. And I have no fear whatsoever in taking a vaccine.
I think too, just to follow that, Mariel does this type of stuff too. And like it's not just like the pharmaceutical company like applies for this. It has to go through like independent review boards, and like the data is like that data is kept more secret and private so that it can't be messed with. Like I think if the FDA or the US government or Trump, whatever, if they wanted to like, we're trying to like get a vaccine here quickly, they would have done it quicker than a year. Like right. they would have done it a lot faster.
They would have done it before the election. If I was worried about a vaccine, if one appeared 3 weeks before election day, and there were some whistleblowers coming out from the FDA saying, "Look, this hasn't
not legit."
Through.
Right?
Absolutely, sound the alarm. I'd be hesitant, but that's not what happened.
Yeah, I agree. I think the thing that makes me nervous is like, the polio vaccine, and we were too young for that, but like that came out and like that like paralyzed people, and so like that's the only thing that makes me a little nervous. But like it's just like good. Like
our regulations have changed so much since then. Yep. Our advancements in science and technology. And by the way, if somebody's arm fell off, okay, first of all, there's probably been more than 100,000 people that have already taken this during the testing stages.
Right.
If someone's arm fell off, you would have heard about it. Well, they would have come forward. They'd be very wealthy right now. Okay. I don't think they got paid off. They would have come forward.
The other thing too is like in several of these, and I don't know which one, but like they did pause them for a period of time because someone showed side effects or whatever, and they made sure it was legit, and then they started again. Because the last thing that these pharmaceutical companies want is to make a vaccine that turns into something that doesn't go well, because then they're done. They're done
forever.
So I think I feel good about it. I'm going to take it as soon as I can. What about you? What about you, Michael?
I'm in the exact same camp that you guys are. I mean, like we said, I trust the things that like all of these medical professionals and all these people who have come out and said that it's going to be good. I trust them a lot more than like, if I had a gut instinct that was telling me no, I would trust the people who know it more than I do. I will also add this little piece, because like I said, you guys really covered pretty much everything that I have been thinking about it. So I also, when I've talked about the vaccine and stuff to people like that I come across in, family and stuff like that. One of the big questions is like, yeah, but what about long-term side effects? What about, all these things? And so I talked to, former guest of the show, who we honestly probably need to have on again at some point to just answer questions that we have about the vaccine. Dave Ryan, because he works in the Health Sciences Center at WVU, runs all the communication stuff for Dr. Clay Marsh, who is the COVID czar for West Virginia. If there's any of our friends who knows a lot about this process and these vaccines, Dave is the guy who I go to. And I basically asked him, I said, so if I am asked the question of like, you know, I'm worried because of long-term side effects, you know, what would you answer that if I asked you about it? And he said, quote, mRNA vaccines have been in development since 1989, and this new mRNA vaccine has been in development for the original SARS, and all they did was swap out the protein the vaccine tells your body to build and your immune system kills. It's a useless protein that's found in the coronavirus spike. Others take dead virus and cause immune response. Vaccines are safe and way less harmful than getting a severe disease. Also, they test upward of 30 to 40,000 people in phase 3 across broad studies. And then he added, also, what's in a Pop-Tart? What long-term studies have been conducted on Pop-Tarts and those preservatives? At least these guys release efficacy data.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Mountain Dew is banned in like 7 European countries. And Dale in Webster County just pounds 12 Mountain Dews a day.
Right.
Yeah.
Not to mention, like, I'm just imagining somebody just puffing some, like, you know, some rat poison in a cigarette.
Yeah.
Talking about the long-term effects of the of getting this vaccine.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very, very informative there from Dave.
Yeah.
We should have Dave on. We should.
Or see if he can get Clay to come on to answer. Have like an actual medical professional in here with us idiots. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, it'd be like,
Hey, anything, you know, even if our, you know, I know it's been a low month. We're probably only getting 10,000 downloads an episode. Even with just our small pocket of 10K, if we could do our part to just, obviously, you know, we have some opinions, but if we can get a health professional in here who's just presenting raw data to somebody and letting people make their decisions based on that, you know, I'm all for it.
And as we learned this week, this is my transition to our other topic. It's a global audience here.
It is.
We not only reach all across the U.S., but we found as everybody this week was posting things about their like Spotify Wrapped for things like that. We looked at ours.
In WRAPPED.
Yep. Wrapped it up.
Wrapped it up. Okay.
I guess that could still be an R. Yeah. If that didn't. Right. Yeah. Wrap your Christmas present. I guess you could rap about your. Sorry.
I looked at our podcast numbers are pretty good on Spotify this year.
Really?
Yeah.
I stopped looking at the podcast numbers.
I have too.
It got to a point where there's just so many that you're, you know, trying to discern between, you know, Libya, Ukraine.
The number of zeros, it just.
Right. But no, they did the, like, how we can look at it for our regular user accounts to see what we listen to. Mm-hmm. When you have a podcast on there, you can see stats.
Oh.
It was pretty cool. We gained 30 followers just on Spotify, which is nice. Shout out. I did have a few people send me stuff of phoning it in as one of their like top podcasts they listen to on Spotify, which is really cool.
Yep.
And then we were listened to in like 7 countries, I think it said. Or, you know, I think we went up in listener and like amount of time listened by like 15%.
There we go. I mean, you know, and just wait for the YouTube Wrapped at the end of 2021.
Right.
Oh man, we're gonna by the time end of 21 gets here, we'll be on that like year in review video that YouTube does where they get all the YouTube stars in it.
Yeah.
Cameos.
Yeah.
With like Will Smith.
Right. I mean, I was and I could even maybe that's when I was doing a little rap before the show, before we started here. Imagine if I did that on the show. See those numbers just going up.
Yeah.
Honestly, it would probably
you were backwards on your camera.
So this?
No, you were right. I was just.
It would probably be the end of the podcast, honestly.
Right.
Because you would get so big that you would have to go off on your own, and then
no, I would never leave you guys behind.
This is where we make some like joke about a comparable band where someone got really good and left, like Harry Styles, One Direction.
The John Terry Show with Nick, Mike, and Cody.
Basically. Yeah, I don't know. It's good to see that.
Do you listen? So just quick question. I know I don't even know what we're doing on time now, but I still use like Apple Podcasts to listen to my podcast. Do you guys? I don't even have Spotify downloaded on my phone because like I don't listen to music. Like I don't.
No annual rap for you.
Yeah, no. That's why I was very confused when all this stuff was coming up. Do you guys use Spotify for your podcast, or do you still use Apple Podcasts for your podcast?
I am usually Spotify for everything.
Oh,
But no, now that I think about it, when I listen to a podcast in a car, I do use the podcast app. So that would be,
okay.
just
Apple.
normal Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, so I will listen to the podcast app if I'm in the car or whatever. A lot of times, if I am at work and I'm sitting at my desk, I will listen to it on Spotify and just play it through my computer speakers.
Got it.
And then, like, if I have to go somewhere and I want to pick that up, I'll just go to Spotify and pick it back up on there, so I don't have to start over. But yeah, I use Spotify a lot if I'm on my computer for that, and if not, I'll use my app. But
Gotcha. Interesting.
Yeah,
Maybe
it's
one day.
good. I like it a lot for podcasts. I don't know. The Apple app has sort of bugged me at times, but
Is Spotify free? Is that a dumb question? I know it's like, is it free
can be
if you're online, if you're on Wi-Fi, or when is it free and when is it not free? You have to listen to ads or something?
when you sign up for a free account. It's free.
But what do I get if I pay for it? Like, what don't I get if I don't pay for it? Because I'm not going to be paying for Spotify.
So I believe you have ads. You
Okay.
have, I think there are certain features. Like I think I remember when
It's
I
like
didn't
you
have
can't
it,
listen offline.
maybe.
Oh, yeah. I remember that being a thing back when I
Can't
used
listen
to do it.
offline. I also think weird things like you can't, if I want to go to an album and like pick a specific song or something, I can't do that. Like you have to do it on shuffle.
Oh,
Oh, that's weird.
Huh.
It's weird. It was weird. There was something with like the way, like what songs you could pick and not, like you'd have to, I can't remember off the top of my head.
interesting. I was just thinking maybe I should, if I'm going to be like traveling so much, maybe the Spotify app, I should like try to listen to some music. Like when I'm just in these hotel rooms by myself for hours at a time,
It's great, man.
like I just tried to download it. My phone died. So
The annual analytics too, like we just said, you get an annual report that tells you your top listened to songs, genres, how many minutes you listen to those songs and genres. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
nice.
But yeah, I don't know. I think, do we have anything else for this week?
No, and I'm sad because I've really enjoyed this time of social interaction, and now it's over.
It's always great.
Prentice's uncle is a pilot. I think I've told you guys that before. And he flies with an airline that goes to Taipei in Taiwan. And it's funny you're mentioning being bored and stuck in a hotel. Basically, like every time he flies to Taiwan, as soon as he lands, like normally in the past, he would fly to Taiwan, right? And he would get off the plane for a day and then fly back, right? But with the current rules, every time he flies to Taiwan, he has to get off the plane and he has to quarantine for 14 days. Boom. And their 14-day quarantine
It's
is
for real.
Yeah, like here is your burner phone that has a tracking in it, and we text you like every day, and you got to respond right away, and that better ping that you're in this hotel, and we bring your food to the door. You cannot leave the room for anything. So he just has to sit in a hotel room for 14 days.
I guess I shouldn't complain because
Yeah.
I can move about in the great
So
state of
he
Florida.
makes his wife go with him, so that he's like not just sitting literally by himself in a hotel room for 14 days.
Does he play video games, man? Like give him.
I need to get him on the sticks, man. I need to get him on the sticks. But yeah, just the next time you think your situation is rough,
That's brutal, man.
Imagine being in a country actually handling COVID,
Right.
and dealing with that stuff.
Yeah, super fun. But yeah, I'm excited to hear how your trip goes the rest of the way. And thanks everybody for listening. Be sure to subscribe on whatever app you use. If you use the Apple Podcast app or Spotify, or if you're on YouTube now watching us. Nick, where can they find us on social if they want to talk to us about some stuff?
Last topic on that one too.
Oh,
if you break the rule in Taiwan, the quarantine rule, the fine is like thousands of dollars, not like $500, like
God.
thousands of dollars. If you like would leave your room and get caught or something. So anyway, you can reach us on social media. Phoning It In Pod is the handle on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Phoning It In Podcast at gmail.com is where you can send us an email, ask us questions. John has a question, it seems like.
Oh no. I was gonna jump in after you finish your little spiel.
Okay. Phoning It In Podcast is also the YouTube channel where we would like for you to subscribe. And if you'd like to be able to see us today on Zoom, that's where you'll go. And then finally, 304-627-1889. Give us a call, leave a voicemail.
That's right.
So I realized really quickly that every other podcasts we've done, I've given you I've given our listener, our viewers on YouTube a tour of something. So that we give an advantage to our people who are watching on YouTube.
Right.
You guys remember how I love bathrooms?
Mhm.
And like the bathroom is my favorite room. Check out this shower head, guys. This shower head is for real.
Is it like the square rain kind?
Yes.
Yes, those are the best kind.
It is
Oh man,
amazing.
I could sit in there for hours.
It is the water pressure. You can do the water pressure so it's like rain, or you can do it so it's like whatchamacallit, high pressure. It is awesome. Just wanted to show that. So,
and that is a shout out to the I believe the Westin in Fort Lauderdale. Is that correct?
That is correct. So, sucks for all the people listening on Spotify or the podcast app. Watch on YouTube, folks.
That's right. It's just a new experience from YouTube. It looks great. And we want to give a shout out to Miguel Silva-Leone for our theme song. Check out Saving Miles Living on Spotify or Apple Music. And with that, that's all we have for this week. Thanks everybody for listening. We'll see you next time. Jesus.